was a superhero that had temporary powers based on eating pixies. And just kept like a utility belt. So, you know what I really need right now is fireballs. Fire pixie. There you go.
But it's not socially acceptable, so he's sort of a villain. He just has a dirty secret.
Yes, there we go.
But he believes he's doing the right thing.
Okay, dude right here in the aisle.
There are cultures that worship these pixies, so it's taboo to eat them.
Okay, cultures that worship them. Possibly cultures that, in which it is acceptable in this religion to eat one, and the rest of the world thinks they're horrible. You can do this in both directions. That's 2 ideas. Okay.
If you eat one, the Pixie Liberation Front will come after you.
The Pixie Liberation Front, one of the most powerful lobbies in Washington, as we all know. Now, let's expand this past pixies. What if there's all of this, we started with Cornish pixies specifically. We have all of this.
What about eating unicorns?
There we go. All of these mythological creatures are real. Which ones is it okay to eat, and which ones is it not?
Shiny vampires.
Shiny vampires. Are they okay to
They
eat?
got shiny because they ate the pixies. It all makes sense when you think about it.
Eating pixies makes you sparkle in the sun. Okay, let's take this in an entirely different direction.
For the teenagers.
Okay? We're still talking about pixies, but there's no eating of pixies. Okay? Next idea. What do we do with pixies?
We keep them in glass bulbs to be our light sources.
Okay, there we go. We have there's lots of
Decorate a Christmas tree with pixies.
On its surface, that is only a setting. That's a piece of set dressing. We need to turn that into a
pixies
story.
do not like that.
Okay, pixies don't like being light bulbs.
Now there's a superhero pixie that's going to come let them all out.
You are into superheroes, aren't you?
I've never been until now, until I needed one to take care of the weasels.
Okay. Pixies are used as light sources. What other conflicts do we have with that? Right here.
All pixies are used as a power source. The pixie does, and they go on strike.
Okay, so we have an industrial world entirely based on pixie dust as a form of fuel, and then they go on strike.
Or we have a pixie plague.
Or we have a pixie plague. Elaborate upon the pixie plague.
Makes them stop sparkling or something.
Okay, like a plague strikes the pixies.
They're still alive, but they're not useful anymore.
Our trains won't run anymore because no one's thinking happy thoughts or whatever. Okay, preacher.
Going back to the light bulb one, it's the Pixie Liberation Front, as he said, will come back after them.
Yeah, the Pixie Liberation Front is not going to be happy about the light bulbs.
Spew.
Okay, now I made a joke about happy thoughts, but the more I think about that, let's consider an actual world. Consider the world we live in, which is really screwed up in a lot of ways. What if we had an economy and an industrial system that relied on us all being happy all the time?
Monsters Inc.
Okay? How would we maintain that? To what lengths would the government go to just make sure everyone was happy enough to make sure that the buses could still run?
Prozac.
That would be a dystopia, actually.
The unhappy people would have to be eliminated.
They'd be drowned.
Well, yeah, it would depend. That depends on is it like everyone has to be happy thing, or is it amount of people that are happy? Because if it's amount of people, then they can't kill off the unhappy people. They just have to figure out how to make them happy.
Yeah.
But if it's if it's the level of happiness in a person,
You're out.
See, if you start disappearing the unhappy people, you're just going to create more unhappy people.
Can you fake the happy?
I don't think you can. I think the pixie can tell. I don't know.
If they can tell, though, wow.
Of course, on the other hand,
Are the pixies ruling this society and they have decrees that everyone must be happy, or they will be eliminated?
there you go. That is another conflict. If the pixies really are a fuel source, or whatever magical creature is a fuel source, is it happy being subservient? What if the pixie doesn't want to make the
Those
creature
will
go?
have to be 2 different books.
Okay, so we have a whole
You can't have
trilogy
pixie
now.
slavery and mandatory happiness.
Yes, you can.
It makes me happy to put them in jars.
Yeah, the pixies don't have to be happy. Now, on the other hand, the great thing about this world that we're creating here is that if the pixies ever start to die off, you just clap your hands and then you have more pixies. So it's perfect. It's awesome. Okay, right here.
Pixie that makes you a pixie and stuffs you in the light socket.
Ooh, the pixie that can turn the tables on you. The title of that short story is the human light bulb. Okay, right here.
Realize that when they eat a human, they gain natural powers.
Oh, dude. That is like the perfect halfway twist of any of these pixie stories. The pixies realize that they gain human powers. And maybe those are lame. Like,
Mosquito nets.
do they gain cool powers, or do they just gain like, now I can balance this spreadsheet? I am a human and I know your human ways. Or they could just gain cool stuff. That would actually be rad. So, way back there, green.
They eat us and then they become humans and hide in our society.
Okay. And do they have to, there's a good conflict there? Well, I mean, if you need extra conflict when a pixie's eating you, is that they have to continue to eat another human or they'll revert back to pixie form. Right here.
So I'm confused. Are the pixies eating the people for happiness?
Yes.
I think we're on about 10-story
Yeah, we're
So what if the pixies were like farmed to generate happiness, and then like somebody like
having a bad
generate
day,
happiness?
just suck down a pixie.
Yes, pixies are a drug. You can go to a rave
Ooh, a pixie
and
ring.
shoot some pixie dust.
Give me a purple.
It's awesome. Okay.
Ooh, what if
Pixies
they have
sneaking
these-
in at night and eating children. Okay, let's connect this to tooth fairies. What if pixies are real and they need human teeth? And they, we've had a fairly stable economy right now. Supply and demand is working out for us. But then something shifts, and suddenly these pixies need way more little kid teeth than they needed before. Where are they going to get it? Accidents. I have 5 kids in my house. So, okay, right here.
An all-out pixie apocalypse.
An all-out pixie apocalypse. In what sense? That there's no pixies left? Or that
In
the
the
pixies
sense that
destroy
the pixies
us?
are destroying.
Okay. The rapture comes and it's not demons, it's pixies. Okay, red. I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Cannibalistic
Pixies
pixies.
eat each other.
The pixies eat each other for cool powers. That is book 2 of the superhero story.